Hello, Chuck. Let's see. I think are you may be muted. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, Chuck.
What's happening there, Big Daddy?
Hey. Oh my gosh. Boy, it's been
Revolution.
many moons.
You see me okay or not?
Oh, I can't see you. You know, on the very bottom, there's a video, you know, a start video. It's on the bottom of the screen. There's a menu, and there's a video box with a video camera. If you click on that, then it should show you. I can hear you.
It says switch to Charles Cook. Switch to active speaker.
Yeah, there should be a picture of a video camera.
Let's see here. Okay, I see it. How's that?
Yeah, no, hey, that's the Chuck that I know. All right. Oh gosh. Yeah. You know, I was just thinking that think over 50 years ago, you know, I returned from India. You know, and
Wow.
just think, you know, you were one of the only, you know, friends from high school, you know, you and Buddy and Dwayne DeCalp, I don't think you remember Dwayne, and Dell, I forgot what Dell's last name was. You know, those are the only people out of my friends at that time, you know, who are interested in receiving knowledge.
Well, you know, I remember hearing about your accolade, you know, all your adventures over in when you went there. You were in India in '71, right?
In '71, yep.
Got to sit right in the front, little 13-year-old, 12-year-old Prem Rawat.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing about it. It was like, what the hell is he up to now? That crazy guy. He's always doing something outrageous.
Yeah.
He's always getting into trouble doing something.
Yeah.
But somehow we survived those crazy, you know, God, the things we used to do and say, oh my God.
I know. Yeah. It's definitely an adventure. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, you know, we were enthusiastic about stuff we did, and we didn't accept the norm. We didn't accept normality, and we didn't want mediocrity. We wanted to be outrageous, and you know, we stuck to our guns, and it led us in a very good direction, I think, ultimately.
Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely. Oh my gosh. You know, I wouldn't trade my lifestyle for anything. Yeah.
And how's your beloved brother doing?
He's doing good. He's living in the Netherlands. His
Okay.
daughter lives there. So yeah, so he's doing good. I talk to him almost every other day. You know, we've been writing. I don't know if you ever seen, but you know, today I sent Mark an audio clip. I wrote this is perfect timing. I wrote about you because I remember in '71 you had this T-shirt with a picture of the MasterCard.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah. Hey, there he is. Hey.
Gentlemen, sorry to be late to the party.
Yeah. We were just judging the hell out of you.
I'm sure I deserved it.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember, you know, the times in seventh grade to seeing you two together, and it was never boring.
I feel so humbled in the presence of such legendary figures. I'm merely a smidgen of sweat on the ballsack of a camel in your presence.
I remember you guys being divine wisecracks even back then. You know, you guys had a unique perspective and a joke towards life. And I think that's carried both of you, you know, along the way, you know, on this journey. You know, Mark, and well, both of you guys aren't the norms of society.
particularly Chuck.
Sorry about that. I had an incoming call. I'll put that off till later.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I got a chance to listen to that audio. That was you've got a very mellow voice, sir.
I have a mellow voice. Yeah. Oh. So, yeah, so I wrote about, I don't know if you remember, in 71, you had a T-shirt, and on that T-shirt was a MasterCard. And on that MasterCard was, you should put the master in charge of your life. And today I wrote about that. It was just perfect timing. My John does all the soundtracks for the stuff that I write. So he wrote something yesterday, and I liked the title. And so then on that title, the first thing that and it was about the master within. And the first thing that came to my mind is when I saw you somewhere, I don't know where it was, at some program, and you had this T-shirt with the MasterCard on, the MasterCard logo, and on that logo it said, "Put the master in charge of your life." So I never forgot that. There are certain images,
You know where I got that shirt? I got that at a Christian Bible store.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But by the way, do you know your voice is very reminiscent of Jimmy Stewart?
Oh, really? Okay. Oh,
Heard that before? Has anybody ever mentioned that to you?
yeah. Oh, no, that's the first time. Yeah. Okay.
Tone in your voice is Jimmy Stewart.
And Rick, I gotta tell you, you look good. And I know you've told me you've lost a fair amount of weight lately, so good on you.
I'm weighing the same weight as high school.
That's incredible.
I weigh 163 pounds.
Wow.
And does Chuck know that story about my foot and all that? Probably not.
Not too well. I mentioned it to him, but you should tell him.
Well, anyway, Chuck, you know that I've been eating organic food all my life, and yet at the same time, I was eating bread and grains and cheese, and unbeknownst to me, my blood sugar level was around 411. Make a long story short, I had some sores that came on my foot. I healed 4 out of 5 of them, and one wouldn't go away. So anyway, at some point, I went to the emergent care, and they took a look at it and said, "Wow, you got to take care of this now." So anyway, make another long story short, they had to amputate my left pinky. But it sounds horrible, but now due to that, I've completely, I spent about 3 months, my brother and I, researching all about intermediate fasting, the latest protocols, the foods, that one should eat to lower blood pressure and to lower blood sugar levels. And within 2 months, I'm now down to a level of my heart less than when I was in high school. When I was in high school, my blood pressure was around 120 over 90. And now it's in that 100 to 110, over 90. So that's gone down. And my blood sugar level has gone down to 411 to around 100 to 110. Just in 3 months. So it's for me, and I dropped 20 pounds, since then, since starting this. So everything is kind of like a blessing in disguise. Just think, if I carried on that route, and because the doctor even told me, if you went to any other hospital in the States, they probably would have amputated your left foot. He says, "You're fortunate." Yeah. So the guy says, "You're extremely lucky that you lost your left pinky toe.
Well, and you know what else makes you really lucky, Rick, is the fact that you were willing to make a change that many people, frankly, aren't.
Oh, I
And,
know that. Oh, most people aren't. Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Margaret Mead, I think that's who it was. She said it's easier for a man to change. It's easier to change a man's religion than it is his diet. And you got to think about that for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what she said. And now, Chuck, you were telling me about our mutual friend, Buddy Owen, that he also has had a big problem lately with gout. Is that right?
Yeah, he's got gout in particular in his feet, and sometimes he said it's so painful and that excruciating that he can't hardly walk.
Well,
And
now,
but he attributes it to all of his drinking. He said when he drinks a lot of alcohol, it really exacerbates the whole problem. So
wow, man.
so much
Thanks.
his diet. I know he went crazy back in the day with the carrot juice. He was drinking like a quart of carrot juice every day, thinking that was going to be all so wonderful and health giving. And finally he said to hell with it. He started turning yellow and orange.
He
And
might be-
also, carrots are high in sugar too.
yeah.
They're surprisingly high, and especially when you juice them, that sugar really
Yeah,
gets
exactly. No fiber. Yeah. We live and learn, don't we? That's a thing.
after 2 years of eating almost exclusively just fruit, I was down to like 120 pounds. I'm surprised I even pulled out of that. I thought, I was so emaciated that I was so bound and determined to, merge in the ethers or whatever I thought being a fruitarian was going to do. Finally, I took a trip to Bora Bora in 1976 in Tahiti, and I was hanging out with these people, and I had this real fancy underwater camera at the time, and I was taking all these pictures. I stayed at the Club Med for a couple of weeks, and when I got back, and this was at the height of my fruitarian, and I went down, I was eating only fruit at the Club Med. They had these huge buffets, and all I was eating was coconuts and papayas. And I remember when I got back and I looked at these pictures standing next to these people that were all robust and healthy looking. There I was, looked like a bag of bones. That's when it struck me. It's like, hey, I gotta do something here. This isn't this isn't happening.
Yeah.
I was expecting something incredible to happen, and nothing incredible was happening, except I looked like a refugee from Dachau or Auschwitz. So that was a learning curve, but it was what it was.
So
But I
Rick,
think we both.
Rick, go through. So you've been retired now for, I'm thinking 2 years. Is that about right?
2 years. Yep. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so go through your day, because you lead a very interesting life in retirement, and tell us what time you go to bed.
Yeah, usually, okay, I wake up at 2 in the morning. I meditate for about 2 to 3 hours, and then after that, then I write for an hour, 2 hours a day. Every single day, I either work on a book, or I do a poem, or I do a thing called like talks, so kind of like talking at the top of my head. I don't eat breakfast until 10 o'clock, and so it's like I do intermittent fasting. I fast for about 17 hours. So I don't eat after 5, and so then I start eating at 10. Usually for breakfast, I have it's oatmeal, but it's a oatmeal soup. So I have vegetable. I put spinach in there. I put okra in there. I put kimchi. I put miso. I put sriracha chili, Indian spices. I add peanut butter, and then whatever vegetables I have at hand. It's either super greens, the salad. I put in spinach. I put like 4 heads of garlic in there. I didn't even bother, peeling the garlic. I just put it in there, so it gets nice and soft. Then usually then I do my yoga in the morning, And then at 12 o'clock, I usually go to, from 12 to 2, I do a meditation sleep. So, and then from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, spend time with my wife, go for walks and stuff like that. And then I go to bed by usually about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'm in bed.
Wow.
So now, through that, then just through the practicing meditation over the years, so sleep, is a form of, that the same state that sleep is, that the normal person, they go to sleep, but they're not aware. So with meditation, when you go to sleep, you're aware, so it's very, very hard to describe. And I'm sure that Chuck has experienced that there's a state inside, which is our natural state. We were born with that. But unfortunately, over time, the majority of human beings, they slowly shut down the door. The world shuts it down for you pretty good.
Yes.
You don't have to do too much, for the world to shut it down. But in order to open up that door, it doesn't take too much. But first of all, I wrote a thing recently. You have to be willing to even be aware that there's a jewel inside of you. If you're not even aware that there's a jewel inside of you, you may wonder, wow, well, I'm alive, how come it doesn't show and appear? Well, for one reason, I say, if you're not even aware that the jewel exists, you think it's going to pay any attention to you. Because my thing about life, the more this goes with almost anything, the more you pay attention to something, the more attention it pays to you. That's how, if you pay attention to your problems, that's what is going to appear in your life. There are some people, they have one problem after another, complain, bitch, moan. We all know people like that. But then the other one is to know that curveballs always will be thrown. I mean, that's how life is. There's high tides and low tides in life. We can't escape it. But we can, dive within the ocean and go down to a place where there is no high tide and low tide. So that's how I try to build my life on that.
Do you, Rick? Do you have grown children now?
Yeah, there's 40, 42, and 33.
Oh my God, 42! God, you knew I had a 7-year-old in Thailand, right?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. Congratulations on that. Yeah.
Do you know that Rod Stewart, he's 77 years old. He has a 4-year-old son.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Oh wow.
He's got grown kids, but his wife is like 35 or 36, and she's like 40 years younger than he is, but he's got a little 4-year-old son.
Oh wow, how cool.
He looks pretty freaking good, I gotta say, for 77.
He does. Oh yeah. And he's still got the singing voice. Yeah.
His voice is held up really well.
Yeah.
And so you and Mark are about the same age.
Yep.
Well, actually, you guys are about the same age because you both have December birthdays of 52.
Right.
And whereas I'm November of 53.
So your birthday's in December.
What's that?
Is your birthday is in December too?
Yeah, Christmas Eve, December 24th.
I'll be doing. Yeah, I'm the 17th.
Oh, the 17th. Okay, all right.
And so, Mark, you're going to be 69. Well, I'm going to be 70 coming up, right?
Is that right? Yes, that is right. Yeah. Dang.
Oh my God, how could we possibly be that old?
Yeah. No kidding.
Well, when I look at my mother at 97, she's going to be soon to be 97. It's like, wow. Maybe
Wow.
You think we'll be around for another Zoom chat in 10 years or 20 years?
That's amazing. Wow.
How old's your mom, Rick?
90.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, where is she?
Yeah, she lives in Austin, Texas. That's where a lot of my family lives there now. My brother David lives there. My sister Jane lives in Houston, and so my mom lives in Austin.
My
So,
mother's down in near Brownsville, very southern tip of Texas.
oh yeah, okay. Oh wow.
She's in a
Yeah,
little
I
town
still
called-
talk. I talk to my mom every day because you never know, when they're going to pass. So, and especially during COVID, you know, they don't, COVID's kind of put my mom used to be super active. She'd go to restaurants, 3 times a week, and she would go, to the movies, a couple of times, and she was part of the theater packages. So she liked to watch plays, and now, living in a like a senior citizen's home, let's put it this way, her activities are somewhat limited. So,
Oh, I'll bet they are, Rick. What a drag.
They asked this woman, she just turned 102, and she was still like gardening and walking her dog every day. And so they asked her what the secret to her longevity. And I loved her answer. She said 3 things. She said, 1, I stay active physically. 2, I stay active mentally. And 3, I keep my nose out of other people's business.
yeah, that's a good. I
Last
like
but
that.
I run my own freaking business.
Yeah, that's good. Oh,
So
Hopefully,
Charlie, what's the surf like down there today?
oh, in fact, that phone call that I just got, we're gonna go down there in about an hour, and the water temperature is up to about 68, 70, and the waves are just beautiful. Oh my God. It's just
oh gosh. Oh wow.
Who was that? Rion?
Leon, yeah.
Yeah, tell him I said hi.
I will, yeah. Yeah, he remembers you and Gwen.
Yeah.
He's playing water taxi to one of his lady friends. He's taken her family over to Avalon for 2 nights in his skipjack. He's got a 21-foot skipjack. And you know what the bill is, the tab for 2 nights? And this is midweek for these.
Oh
there's like-
man, Avalon is so expensive. It was like $300 a night. I shared a room there with Mark McClellan about 5 years ago.
They're getting a 2-bedroom condo with a balcony with a view and a pool. They're paying $12.50 a night.
Whoa. Wow.
Holy cow. And I've heard, Chuck, I've heard if you even just take your boat over and hang it on a mooring ball, they get you for like $200 a night.
It's really, the prices over there have just skyrocketed.
Wow.
That just confirms to me, I don't belong in this country anymore.
Yeah.
I was just,
Mark, what are your long-term plans in terms of, you were saying the other night that you might be going down to Texas, El Paso, Texas, and looking at some properties there?
yeah, I might try to acquire a couple rental type properties, and that market looks good to me. But then immediately, I want to get the heck out of the United States. It's a wonderful country. It has a great tradition and history of liberty, but it is just on the wrong path for me.
We have a pretty awesome president.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you have YouTube and you can get targeted information. I was never one to have a TV set because I had to just sit there on my butt and let them barf all that information that I'm not interested in, because you couldn't dial in on what you need. But with YouTube, it's very granular. You can just dial in on the information you want. And so there's all kinds of videos on what it's like to move to Mexico or Guatemala or Nicaragua or wherever.
Go there virtually.
So anyhow, I was just listening to one earlier today, and the guy was just making it so clear as to what the expenses are to be expected, and how does that compare with the average Mexican citizen if you are just going to live on Social Security in Mexico and so forth. But so cut to the chase to say that Mexico is just drastically cheaper. And it's a more peaceful, happy country in many ways. So I just can't see too much reason to remain in the US. I would like to have property in the US so that I could come back one day if I so chose, and so that I could generate income on the US, dollar platform. But other than that, every year I just feel less comfortable here.
How are your sisters holding up, Courtney and Kim?
Courtney, bless her heart, she just struggles. She's one of those people that has a proclivity to take drugs and be alcoholic and whatever, and it's just created massive havoc. To her credit, she was a wonderful mother to her daughter. Her daughter now is like 38. I see her daughter quite a bit more than I see Courtney, and so her daughter's doing good. And then, what's that?
Did you meet her daughter on the boat, on Michael's boat?
Yeah. Chelsea. Yeah.
Very charming young lady.
Yeah. Chelsea's great. And then my older sister Kim, yeah, she's just sort of hanging out, doing her own thing. Thank you, honey. She's living in Sacramento and just barely bumping along. She worked overseas her whole working career, so her Social Security is very low, and she's struggling. Okay, gentlemen, we weren't supposed to have too much carrot juice, right?
Hey.
My lovely wife just brought me this.
Oh. And you guys are coming up on an anniversary here, aren't you? Your wedding anniversary?
Well, no, we got married in February, so it's been about 3.5 years now.
Wow. Well, by golly, you guys are still madly in love, I'm sure.
Yep. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I just, it never happened to me before that I was madly in love. So this time I am.
Yeah.
So Rick, what are your, are you gonna, you're in Missouri? Is that what the?
Yeah, actually in Kansas, Overland Park. We've been trying to move back to Ashland, Oregon for about 5 years. And, unfortunately, Ashland, with COVID, going rampant in Ashland, and they had a fires there 2 years ago. So they had 3,000 homes. Ashland's not very big, but they had 3,000 homes that got destroyed. So consequently, the real estate market, the houses went up about $200,000. So we were planning to move there and buy a house, cash out front. But now, yeah, we're in a holding position,
You've been with your wife for quite a while now, right?
What's that?
So you've been with your wife for a while.
Oh, about 34 years. Yeah, 34 years. Yeah.
34 years.
Yeah.
Do you still bring her flowers once in a while?
Yeah, still do that. Yeah. Yeah. You got to do that every once in a while. Yeah.
I think it's good if you get married to stay married. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
That is a good sign.
A committed relationship with somebody, and just hang in there, So that's I mean, I think of my mom and dad being married for 73 years, and they were high school sweethearts for 4 years before they got married. So, like 77 years together.
Wow. That's
My mother used to complain about, said, oh, my dad, bless his heart, but those burger farts, woof, boy, those were wicked.
Oh gosh.
They got along pretty well, and he didn't leave in a very peaceful state, but Mark knew my parents pretty well. He knows what I went through under their
Yeah, I know, unfortunately, what you went through, and I'm saying, wow, you've cleared a lot of the hurdles that you went through. It's kind of fun, let's put it this way, you're an inspiration, to show no matter how life throws us curveballs, you maybe not to hit a home run at all times, but you know how to get on base, even hit a bunt and get to first base. Most people with curveballs come, that they don't even want to go to the batter's box. So yeah.
That's a really good metaphor. I like that.
Yeah.
Baseball game. I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Hey, so Charlie, tell us what your future plans are. It's likely that your mother is going to croak and that she is not going to throw you under the bus the way your dad did.
That seems to be the consensus. So I'm going to kind of go with that. I'm going to have to be in a holding pattern here in between, living in the U.S. and making, every effort to support my wife and child in Thailand from here, and then going there as frequently as I can until such a time as, if my mother does leave me a substantial amount of money, I'll probably just cash in my chips here and go spend the rest of my days in Thailand with my family over there. That's a distinct possibility. But, my mother's 96, soon to be 97. She could easily make 100 if nothing dramatic happens, she doesn't fall and hit her head or something like that. I guess she could wake up, go to bed feeling fine, wake up dead. Kind of, a lot of seniors wake, they get sleep, they get apnea or whatever, where they just stop breathing.
Whereabouts in Thailand does your wife live?
But my son is growing up in a beautiful, beautiful area of northeastern Thailand. It's called Udon Thani. And Udon Thani is a city and a province. And they're near the not so many kilometers, like 50 kilometers from the Laotian border.
Oh wow! Okay, wow.
The Mekong River. So, and I couldn't have custom designed a more incredible place for my son to grow up than this just rural, beautiful rice fields and sugar cane and palm trees and lakes and streams and all these incredible animals, water buffaloes and goats and cows. And my son just, oh my God, he's just got such a beautiful, loving family there and caring. And he's just, oh man, it just really warms my heart to see how he's growing up over there.
Yeah, my best friend, actually my surfing partner, who I went with from France to India, he's been living 12 years in Thailand. I forgot the name of that. It's a beach town. It starts with P. I don't know.
In Pattaya?
I think so. Yeah. He has only he hasn't been to the States in 12 years, so most of the time. Yeah, that's
okay.
it. Yeah.
Hey Chuck, what was the name of that guy that you knew well? He had a house in San Clemente. He used to sell cell phones, and then he's lived in Thailand now for probably 25 years. You know who I mean?
Rick knows Ron Bader.
Ron Bader.
Yeah.
He was up in Malibu with his eldest daughter, Priya, who just turned 10. And they both just last month, a couple of weeks ago, went to India to see his younger daughter, who's 5, and his wife in Pokhara, Nepal. So that's where he is right now. And but he still has 2 condos in Chiang Mai, Thailand. But he hasn't been there in a while. I think he's been renting them out. So.
And is that due to the difficulty of because Thailand made travel so difficult for a couple of years?
It's been virtually impossible to go over there for the last, since the inception of COVID. It's been like 3 years since I've been over there. They're coming up in September. I'm planning to go back in September, and that'll be 3 years since I was last there. And little Chucky's was 4, and now he's 7. And God, he's grown a lot in 3 years.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Chuck,
does he speak any English?
That's a good point. We've Supan and I have made a major effort to make sure that he's getting private English lessons. So his English is coming along very nicely. He's getting, we upped it from 2 to 3 or 4 private hours a week of intensive English. So he's learning grammar, he's learning sentence structure, and he's learning the whole kit and caboodle. So he's such a fast learner. We've made extra effort to make sure that he is, at least he speaks Thai, of course, that's his native language, but he's very well spoken, and he's going to be a with knowing English and Thai is going to be a big benefit for him as he gets older, open up a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. I knew he spoke a little English because last time I talked to him, he told me he was going to grow up and become an engineer for the county of Los Angeles, like his grandfather.
He said he's going to get rid of that shit for brains father of his.
Exactly.
Can you imagine calling your son shit for brains?
Oh my gosh.
That's my dad's one of his endearing terms.
I'm going to add, see if my brother in the Netherlands can join us.
Oh, that'd be so wonderful.
Yeah, I just got a message from him. So it's
Oh yeah, please try to rope him in. That'd be fantastic. I've got a hard stop at 2 o'clock.
okay.
I got to get back to work, but
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep it a little bit. My friend is tapping his toe. He wants to go down to the beach.
man, $1,200 a night for a room at Catalina Island.
You believe that? Jeez.
That is just highway robbery.
I mean, it's a 2-bedroom condo with a kitchen. I mean, it's like a full on. There's going to be 4 people in it, but geez, $1,250. That's $2,500 for 2 nights.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. You could get a pretty nice over the water bungalow in Bora Bora for that kind of dough.
Yeah.
Right over the clear lagoon.
So where's your favorite travels that you've ever been to?
Oh boy, that's a good question. I gotta say, I spent one of my first epic trips was to the Fiji Islands, and I ended up spending like 7 months there in 86, 87.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I had such a blast there. I was getting laid all over the place. In the first place, I had my choice of all these beautiful Fijian and Indian women. I was pollinating flowers left and right there. And the people were so sweet and so friendly. And one of the things I was telling a friend of mine the other day, one of the things about Fiji, aside from the hospitality and the warmth of the people, was they had such amazing rhythms and music going on.
Oh.
And I was in a constant state of dance and just being so entertained by the rhythm of the island. So.
Yeah, I've been to Tavarua just for a week.
Oh, okay, that's the surfing.
Yeah,
island.
surfing. Yep. Surfing island. Yeah.
Yeah. Fiji just has it all. Now unfortunately they're in the cyclone belt there, so they get hammered with cyclones on a pretty regular yearly basis. So you just have to be prepared for that. I don't think I'd want to. I'd go back there for another visit, but I don't think I'd want to live there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thailand has.
After Thailand, Chuck, where else in Asia would you think would be a desirable place to live?
Oh boy, that's a good question. Now I did spend a little bit of time in the Philippines, and I would definitely like to go back to the Philippines and check out there's so many beautiful islands and beaches in the Philippines.
Right.
I would really like to spend some more time there and kind of get a better feel for, but of course, Filipino women are absolutely stunning. Of course, I would have to go there as a single man, I think.
Yeah.
Wife and son there. But anyway, yeah. So, and then I got to say, of all the places that I've been to, that this just in South Pacific in general has a real just charm and a personality and a charisma.
What was your take? Did you ever spend any time on the ground in Taiwan?
No, other than the airport there, I've never spent any time in Taiwan. It's funny you should mention Taiwan. My mother, in all of her geographical brilliance, she says, "So when are you going back to Taiwan?"
Oh.
I said, "Mom, it's not Taiwan, it's Thailand." Oh, well, whatever. Like when I went to Costa Rica, she said, "When are you going back to Puerto Rico?"
That's funny.
That's-
Oh, that's pretty cool. So, anyway, but you know, Mark went to Thailand on a couple of occasions and met my son and my wife there.
Oh, yeah, you told me that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Have you ever
Totally
thought about
enjoyable.
going over there? Or?
That was in 2018. And it just worked out that I had a lot of vacation that year, and I took advantage. It was great. I'm going to see if I can find a
Well,
photo.
Mark is one of my few friends that has actually met my son.
What was that, Chuck?
I say you're one of my few friends that have met little Chucky.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if he would remember me at this point.
Probably not.
I gotta get back over there is what I gotta do.
Hell bent trying to forget about it. Forget about that guy.
Yeah. Now somewhere I've got a couple photos I'll share here in just a second. Oh, yeah, stand by. Oh, Rick.
I
fix it
got
up.
a share screen. Yep,
Yeah.
hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Hang on. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Hey,
Oh, that's a great picture,
that's a
Mark.
good one. Yeah.
You know what cracked me up? Take a look at the telephone wires.
Oh,
You know,
no.
the way things are wired, the way things are wired up there, it was just unbelievable. Whoops, Breitling.
Oh.
And this little guy gave me a little hassle because I rode a scooter without a helmet. But hang on, there's other stuff. I'm gonna stop sharing for just a second. Somewhere there's a treasure trove of great stuff. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, this will be good.
The Great Wall in China.
Stand by.
The Great Wall.
There you go.
Oh man,
Oh, that's a nice one. Wow.
what a great shot! God, can you send that one to me?
Oh, sure.
Oh, that's a great shot. Man.
Look at your son. Man, he's taking no nonsense from anybody.
Yeah.
Those are some great pics. I've never seen those before.
Look what a handsome kid he is. Almost makes you wonder who his real father is.
I want to do. Oh, those are great shots. Yeah, if you could send a couple of those to me, I appreciate it. There he is. Oh, those are great shots. Wow.
He's so much bigger now, though.
Oh my God. He's like, oh, he's almost as tall as she is.
Isn't
Do you
that
have any
amazing?
pictures, Chuck, of the latest?
Yeah, I got a couple of recent photos. I sent those to you, didn't I, Mark?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a big kid now.
Okay, somewhere, hang on, I'm still trying, there's gotta be, I thought I had, hang on.
Did you see that picture I sent you this morning, Mark?
This was very disrespectful. Chuck took this picture of me. I was really peeved.
That's a good one.
He's
Oh,
tall.
yeah.
I didn't get much respect. Hang on. Well,
Damn, you took a lot of photos. I didn't realize you had that many.
oh yeah.
Oh, those are great pictures on the boat going over there.
Yeah.
Remember we drove around that little golf cart that one day?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We had all kinds of strange things to see. Oh, darn it. There was a photo I had, a real favorite photo of mine of me and little Chucky. Well, I'll dig them up some other time. Oh, no chance on getting John in, Rick?
No, I sent him a Zoom request. Let me see if hold on for 1 second. Let me go to WhatsApp.
So, Rick, was that actually a true story about your experience in France, surfing in France?
Yeah, that was a true story.
Where you actually almost drowned, and when you had that vision
Yep,
of,
yep. That was a true story.
and the voice, it was the voice said, "Go to India."
Yeah, it said the voice go to India, and I saw Prem in his Krishna costume.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah,
That's in-
yeah. Back then, things were so, how do I say this? So miraculous, yet they were so natural. I didn't
Yeah.
think anything of it.
Well, you remember Fred and Vicky Stanish, right?
Oh yeah. Of course.
You or your brother that came in with her that back in 1977, and you were on your way to Italy and to Rome, Italy, and was that you or John that was
Oh, that was
came in?
John. Yeah, I was in '77. I was living in New York City. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he was with Vicky Stanish, and they were on their way to Rome, Italy, to see Prem.
Yeah. I guess Fred Sensen has died, hasn't he? Didn't he die about 10 years ago?
Yeah, he's been gone since let's see, 2011.
Oh wow. Do you ever see Vicky at all?
Nope. The last I heard, she had a son who is probably in his 30s now, and she was up in Seattle. She got remarried, or got married, I guess, and then I haven't heard from her since. I talked to her after Fred died. And that was it.
Mhm. I talked to John Slowski. He says hi because you remember
John,
Slowski.
oh my God.
Yeah.
He's always such a huge inspiration for me. I've always admired him.
And John Roberts is another one. And I don't think Mark knows these people.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of John Roberts, Mark, he bought a Columbia 50 and totally restored it.
I think you had told me about that.
Yeah. Oh my God, that thing is so beautiful. It's got a dark blue hull, and he put new rigging, gutted it, put a new keel, a new interior. I mean, he put a couple $100,000 into that thing. It's just one of the most beautiful sailboats on the bay.
That's a lot of money to put into that old of a boat.
And I think he wants to, he wants to sail it to, Hawaii and around the down Pacific, but I don't know if that's ever happened.
Yeah, it's a shame. I take a look at all those older boats often, because I'm always a little bit shopping boats. I just want to know, like, for instance, now that we're going into an economic recession or depression, the price of boats and luxury items is getting much cheaper all of a sudden. But a boat like that, the Columbia 50, it's not a good design for today's use.
I've got two of my friends now that are actively interested in getting a Beneteau. About a 40. Are you the Beneteau yachts?
The Beneteaus are very nice. Here was one of my favorite places in Thailand. Chuck, and this is in Pattaya. I don't know if you've ever been to this. Stand by. Whoops. Oh, you know where that is, right, Chuck?
Yeah, that's where the heck is that?
That's in Pattaya. Kind of at the south end of Pattaya. I made it look like.
Wow. Oh, that's a 737.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was there.
Okay, look at this
Oh,
building.
wow, wow.
The entire building is built of wood. And they keep redoing it. That's why the wood appears in slightly different shades. But this thing, Chuck, it's called the Sanctuary. I was distracted, as you can see. It's called the Sanctuary of Truth, and it is massive.
Wow.
Sanctuary of Truth. Wow.
And it probably takes from the central part of Pattaya, it's probably a 15-minute drive south. It's way out in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
I'll have to check that out when I go back over there.
Look at the elephants.
The elephants. Oh, cool.
Oh my gosh, wow.
That's entirely made out of wood?
The entire thing is made from wood. And they have a team. I'm going to say they probably have 100 volunteers that are constantly working on it, just to keep it up. But it is so ornate and just so. I'm lucky there'll be a couple photos inside. It was astounding.
You know, Thailand really is a very strange mixture, strange juxtaposition of old and new.
It is, isn't it?
There's most of the population Buddhist, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
But there's a Hindu influence and
Mhm. Wow, what a beautiful place.
yeah, this thing.
It's all hand carved.
Yeah, that's inside.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, look at that.
it's crazy. You got to go to that sometime, Chuck.
Called the Temple of Truth.
The Sanctuary of Truth.
Yeah, I'll try to check that out.
Yeah, it was just mind-boggling. All right, enough of that.
Listen, gentlemen, I'm going to have to sign off here.
All right, Charlie.
All right.
You look great, man.
Yeah, you guys, life's good, going on.
Are you in the process of writing publishing a book, or are you just doing stuff for your website there? Or?
Well, I've written about 50, almost 60 books in 5 years, but I haven't published any of them. I put every single day, if I'm working on something, I put a chapter a day out on Facebook. And I have a YouTube channel called Fletcher Soul Traveler. So if you go to YouTube and do a search, you'll see I have a channel and I have all my stuff on there. So you can listen to all the stuff.
So if I just put in Rick Fletcher's travels on YouTube?
No, Fletcher Soul Traveler. That's
Fletcher's. Okay.
Fletcher Soul Traveler. Yeah. So if you do that, yeah, that's got all my stuff on there, and I put all my interviews with people. Yeah.
And you had a lot of, in the early days, you had a lot of one-on-one with Prem when he was younger, right?
Oh yeah, I had a lot of them one-on-one. Oh gosh,
You
yeah.
were living in his home there in, was it near Rishikesh or Hardware?
Well, actually in Hardware. I never visited his home in let's see, where was it? Oh, Dehradun. Because when I was there, he hardly ever went back to his home when I was there. It's mostly when I was in India, he was in a Hardwar area. You know, a Premnagar ashram.
You were one of the fortunate few that saw him in those early days. God, must have been
Yeah.
amazing. Even before he came to the US, or in 70,
Yeah.
I guess, June of 71, July of 71.
Yeah.
Is that when he came to the US, July of 71?
July of 71. Yeah. I
Really?
think he first came to June, to the West in June, but he came to LA in July of 71. Yeah.
So,
I was,
I'm trying to remember the events back then, Rick. I thought that my memory was that we graduated in June of 71.
yeah, we did.
John graciously accepted your mother's Mustang as his graduation gift, and you said you wanted cash. And I thought that that was when you started like a year-long trip to Europe and eventually to India.
Yeah, it started in June, and I never received a penny from my parents. I wanted to do everything on my own. So,
Oh,
yeah, so I never, John got the Mustang, which was fine, but I remember I worked at Richard's Market. I don't know if you know, but I was part of the union. So back then I made, a ridiculously salary for an 18-year-old. So by the time, I didn't spend a penny in high school. I saved about $5,000, which back then was a lot of money.
that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
What were you doing at Richard's Market?
I was washing dishes. I forgot to. I was in the washing pots and pans in the deli.
Wow, because I worked at Richard's as a box boy off and on, but I was making like $1.77 an hour or something.
Yeah, I think my pay, vaguely as I remember, was probably about past 6 o'clock was like $7.50 an hour, which was a lot of money back then. Yeah.
That was a hell of a lot of money
Yeah,
back then.
and I had to join the union. I don't know if you had to join the union.
Yeah, I don't know if I did either. I can't
Yeah, I
remember.
think there's certain jobs at Richard's Market where you had to join the union. And so I got all the union benefits and that way.
Did you know Greg Meeks? He worked there in the bakery.
I don't know if I know him. Oh, no.
Did you know Steve Schwind?
Oh, that name sounds a little familiar. Steve Schwinn.
He worked there. He was like a grade or two above us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Huh.
How do I get back?
Interesting.
I just knocked myself off of the screen here. How do I get back to Zoom?
I just I click on the video at the bottom. There you go.
There you go, Charlie. Almost lost you.
Well, listen, guys, good chatting with you, and nice to see everybody. I'm glad we're all still kicking.
Yeah, definitely.
First thing I do in the morning is I check the obituaries, and if my name isn't there, I have another cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's good, Charlie. All right. Yeah, actually, I'm seeing what time it is, and I probably better sign off too. So
Okay.
great to catch up with you all. Rick, please give my very best to John next time you talk to him.
I will. Okay.
Mark, can you forward Rick's contact number, like his phone number, or so I can stay in touch with Rick? Do you mind, Rick?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay. All
All
right,
right,
you
gentlemen.
guys.
The rest of my activities.
Well,
Catch you all
bye,
later.
adios.
Hey, guys.
Okay.
Buena suerte.
Bye. Adios.